Amanda Datt, Debbie Yarborough, and Benjamin O'Keefe. I'm going to introduce each one of them before they speak, but we are going to go forward in this order. Andrea Rojas is from, is originally from Bogota, Colombia, and she recently completed her master's degree in mental health counseling just in December. We're so excited and proud of her. Her road to recovery took her from Colombia to coming to the U.S. and being in Oklahoma as a student athlete. She'll tell us more about it. And she also began working there with Dr. Ovidio Bermudez, who's a physician that is renowned in his work with eating disorders. And with his guidance, I met her at a NEDA conference some years ago, and she came to Daytona when she came back, and she has been both a part of NEDA and COPE, and has been a NEDA navigator. She'll tell us more about that. And she's incredibly active with numerous eating disorder organizations, and we're just excited to have her come back to town. She lives in Orlando now, but she's been involved with COPE for a very long time. So with that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samuels, for your introduction. Okay, well, can everyone hear me okay? We're always wishing and trying so hard that we put so much weight to ourselves that makes it even harder to get out of the hole and be recovered. But what does the process of recovery mean? To me, it's about start living now. My process of recovery started with holding on to my passion, which is my talent and strength, golf. 8 years ago, I came by myself from Colombia with a full scholarship to play golf in the United States. Coming to a new country was scary to me, but what was more scary was the fear of gaining more weight and listening to all the gossip about the freshman 15 that I didn't even know it existed back home. Being in a country where food, culture, and people was so different. But even worse, I was away from my family and friends. I had a full scholarship to play college golf, and I was risking letting my mind about the pressure to be thin take over my life. It was not until I was losing what I loved that I saw I was and researched I needed help. I thought this would only happen to me. How can a joke would end in something so serious? I was missing class, practice, having migraines, lack of energy. I didn't know what to do. I had talked to my school counselor, which did not know about eating disorders, so he gave me the number of the other therapists in Daytona. After 2 voicemails, I didn't get an answer. After all that effort of calling to seek help, no one was there. Well, I continued to struggle and hold on to my passion, even though there were significant ups and downs. I transferred of school in Oklahoma and knew I still needed help to see a counselor. My new counselor said, "You have an eating disorder." Eating disorder? Nah, I don't have that. I know I can stop. Well, it had been already almost 2 years with this joke, but once I started trying harder to stop, I realized it was not a joke. My therapist was my angel. Not only she was there for me, but she knew also a nutritionist that could help me with my recovery. And eventually helped me discover my passion to be an advocate of eating disorders and a therapist. It was with hope, passion, and the help of my family and team of professionals that I could get out of the hole I was. So I started to change, little by little, with a lot of patience and hope, focusing on small steps at a time. I started joining organizations like COPE in 2009, where we as a team went to all Volusia County middle schools and gave a presentation called Being a Girl in Today's World, educating children about positive body image and self-esteem. I also set booths in colleges, health fairs, suicide prevention conference, giving information in English and Spanish, and helping organize movie nights to the public, presenting a documentary called America the Beautiful. I also joined the Eating Disorders Network of Central Florida, where I helped organize the first NIDA Walk in Orlando, Florida, where we raised around $18,000 and became the assistant chair of website communications. While being part of these wonderful organizations in 2010, I decided to lead an ANAT, which stands for Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders, support group, building a place for people to make connections and have resources for those who are struggling with eating disorders, as well as friends and families. Also, I joined Chi Sigma Iota, an international honor society for students, educators, and professional counselors, where I was the social justice chair and advocated for eating disorders, organizing events, having booths at colleges, answering questions, and most important, being there for students. I also volunteered several times for NIDA conferences where people share information, stories, and their passion, which motivated me even more to help others, but at the same time, help my recovery. Also, I had the opportunity of lobbying where I joined together with 60 teams to meet with 210 members of Congress to educate them about eating disorders and encourage them to support eating disorders legislation. I also became a NIDA navigator, which is an amazing opportunity to be there for people when they need it, which can be one of the most important things in recovery, to be listened and not to feel alone. I became a Zumba instructor, which has also been a wonderful opportunity because it helps me promote wellness, which is my passion and keeps me happy and active, connecting and sharing with others. While working on my master's degree and interning in Florida Hospital for Children, in 2013 I created the first Everybody is Beautiful fashion show for the children in the Healthy 100 Kids program. This fashion show gave me the opportunity for kids to celebrate their inner beauty, reminding them that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. Kids and teens successfully walked the runway in their amazing self-decorating shirts that express their unique personality and beauty. Recently, I created an eating disorders and positive body image website in Spanish. The link is ser1mismo.org to build a resource and help also the Spanish-speaking community. Now, I am a registered clinical mental health counselor intern in Orlando Psychiatric Associates, working mostly with children but also adolescents, adults, and elderly clients, and continue to help loving and helping others with what they're going through, guide them, and be there for them. But why do I talk about all the things I've done? Connections. Everything is about connecting, sharing, listening, and being inspired by others to make a change. But most of all, believing in yourself. This disorder makes people disconnect and isolate. We need to motivate others, be there for them, and learn and educate others how to be there for people. Touching people's lives can make a difference in people and be remembered for all their life. Isn't it that beautiful? To have a sense of belonging, believing that we are capable of making and creating great things that people can benefit from is what I see at the light of the tunnel. The reality is, during that process, you can see so much. Sometimes it gets blurry, and that's okay. That is part of the process. The important thing is to live now, regardless of your eating disorder. Start doing the things you love. Be with the people who care and set goals in your life. Recovery is not black or white. It doesn't happen from one day to another. It's not only about starting on Mondays or a New Year resolution. The change is right now. That one step gets you eventually to the next one. Even if it's small steps, you will get there by talking and sharing with others, researching about the disorder and reading stories of hope, and knowing you're not alone. Getting to know what your strengths and talents are and using them 200%. Teach others, make your voice heard. Don't be afraid. It's all about the little things that makes a big difference. Thank you.
I wanted to mention that we're going to have time for question and answers and sharing at the end of the panelist. So if you have questions, please save them. Next, we're going to hear from Amanda Dack, who battled with her